Hello and welcome. Hi, I'm JJ. Some of you know me, some of you might not. I'm not quite sure what the time is. I just checked the time and it said 2 minutes to 8, and then I looked a few seconds later and it said it was 3 minutes past 8. If you've been waiting for a few minutes, I apologise. Time has taken on a remarkably fluid form in this household right now. So it's lovely, I can see people. Oh, lovely to see people joining. Welcome wherever you are. There's people all streaming through. Ali Shepherd from over the valley, Margarita Berg from France, Mark Taft from Leicester. I missed some of you. Jan Rutters from Netherlands, Christopher White from, I forget where, the Midlands, I think, somewhere, Liz Harris from Scotland, and others of you. You're all very welcome. Jules Cousins. So beautiful to be with you. And this is Sovereign Earth number 43. Goodness, where does time go? And so each episode of Sovereign Earth is a fragment or a piece of the jigsaw as I see it, as the solution, as the wherewithal, as the means of bringing humanity back into sacred relationship with nature. So the Sovereign Earth vision is that humanity will have nature as sacred again and central, and the Sovereign Earth weekly elements are aspects and building blocks towards that. And my vision is that one day this will be the core curriculum in school. There's a vision. So I want to start, so beauty is the subject. Beauty. Walk the beauty way, as comes to mind. So the definition, one definition of beauty, a quality or an aggregate of qualities in a person or a thing that gives pleasure to the senses or pleasurably exalts the mind or the spirit. I love that term. Or pleasurably exalts the mind and spirit. I think that's poetry, isn't it? But that's what beauty does. Pleasurably exalts the mind and spirit. So we have a song just to settle us in. Let my heart reflect your light now, as the moon reflects the light of the sun in love, always in love. Let my heart reflect your light now, as the moon reflects the light of the sun in love, always in love. Oh, such beauty, oh, such beauty, oh, such beauty now. Oh, such beauty, oh, such beauty, oh, such beauty now. So the moon reflecting the light of the sun in love, always in love. So right back through history, the moon has reflected the light of the sun, the dance of love between them, and beauty. And there's a lot, as I've discovered, beauty holds a lot of relationship to light, as we'll see as we explore it together. So here's a little journey through beauty. See what you make of it. Oh yeah, the first thing is there after that song, so there's a Hafiz. Some of you might have heard me say this before because it's one of my favourites, Hafiz. How did the rose ever give of its beauty? And now, how did the rose ever open its heart and give to the world of its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light upon its being. There's something really beautiful about that. How did the rose ever open its heart and give to the world of its beauty? It felt the encouragement of light upon its being. And I think in many ways yeah, without the beauty, all the beauty around us, yeah, we owe to the light of the sun. I mean, it's beyond the sun. It's in the cosmos. So there's a deeper source. But for us on planet Earth, it's very much related to light and the sun. Now here's a quote. This is such a beautiful evocation of the quality of beauty, and it's by Khalil Gibran. Who else? The author of The Prophet, and he said. Beauty is eternity gazing at itself in a mirror. So just think about that for a minute. Beauty is eternity gazing at itself in a mirror. And indeed, when each of us, you, I, see beauty, we're also gazing into that mirror. And because we're reflecting our own beauty, we need to appreciate beauty. We are beauty. And we're part of that beauty, the whole. So that's sublime and mystical and ethereal realms of beauty. But Confucius, these ancient wisdom teachers, Confucius said, everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. And this is a really important aspect of beauty, that it's perennial, it's eternal, it's within and around, and yet not all of us see it. How strange. It's a bit like that tale I told a couple of weeks ago about the fish in the water, and how can a fish appreciate water without, it doesn't necessarily follow, does it? And we are like that. We live amongst and within beauty, and not everyone sees it. I need to open my eyes to the beauty around me. It's like I could walk up the valley here, and especially say I was walking up the valley with a friend and we were chatting away, and we could walk through the most glorious meadow of flowers and hardly notice it. It doesn't have to be with a friend. I could do that on my own. I could be lost in my thoughts. But if I open my eyes and dwell in beauty, it is accessible and freely available. But we've all done that. I've done it. Walked through beauty and then maybe towards the end thought, my gosh, I barely noticed. So it's something to do with being aware, being open to that miracle. And Rumi put it another way. He said, although it's related, he said, beauty surrounds us, but usually we need to be in a garden to see it. Beauty surrounds us, but usually we need to be in a garden to see it. So it's so much easier. I look out my window to my left here. You're right, possibly, but over here. And I see beautiful flowers, trees, sky. It's so much easier to walk in a garden and experience beauty with the flowers and the abundance of nature. And yet beauty, I come inside, the beauty of a tapestry that lies before me, the beauty of the light reflecting on those candles over there. There's many, opening to beauty. Dare I dwell in beauty? It's an invitation to us all. Just a brief song, just to change the flow. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. It is about opening up. That's why that song found its way in there in that moment. A fair bit of what I do have some framework for these things, but quite a bit of it is spontaneous as well in the moment. So there's another fascinating aspect to beauty, and you could say it's philosophical at one level, but we'll leave that for a minute. What worth has beauty if it is not seen? That's an Italian proverb. What worth has beauty if it's not seen? Now you can go down rabbit holes on that one in the philosophical sense. Does beauty exist if it's not seen? But because it's an Italian proverb, it became brought to mind the image of an Italian masterpiece from the Renaissance period, say Michelangelo or Da Vinci. If a work of art of theirs was locked away in a vault somewhere, so it couldn't be seen, so it's so precious that it's killed by being locked away and it's not seen, what then of its beauty? It's a fascinating, it's a really interesting thought. For beauty to exist and to flower, it has to be seen. What worth is beauty if it's not seen? There's a little playful one I wrote down here that I came across. Beauty's far stronger, far more potent than wine, for it intoxicates both the holder and the beholder. Now, I think that might apply to people. If a beautiful person and the person viewing the beautiful person can both become intoxicated by the beauty, I don't think that applies beyond humans. I don't think animals or plants get intoxicated if we view them as being beautiful, but who knows? It just made me smile that there's something in it. So there's this whole thing about nature is the epitome and the epiphany of beauty, the absolute epiphany and flowering. I really come into contact with true beauty through being in nature, and that's a great teaching of Druidry generally, to be in nature as teacher. There's our book, there's our teaching, our philosophy, our practice, my philosophy, my practice, all embodied in what I experience and see in nature, and embodied in beauty, the wonderful, wondrous beauty, and that will come into some actual remarkable, for me, inspiration around beauty, what it means. So I wrote this, it just came to mind, I wrote this poem years ago, it's only a ditty. To see your beauty in a flower, to savour every timeless hour, to sense in you such wondrous bliss, and capture all in one sweet kiss. Now, of course, that was written about a person, but beauty's kiss goes way beyond that, beyond our lips, if you like. It can be the kiss of dawn sunlight on our face. That's beauty, kissing us. It can be the kiss of waves on the shoreline. It can be the kiss of dewdrop on a leaf. It can be the kiss of a leaf falling from a tree and kissing the earth as it lands. And of course, I wrote some words actually. Just because I wrote it, beauty is the kiss of waves on the shoreline of our soul. Beauty is the kiss of waves on the shoreline of the soul. Those are my words as I just rambled, but I think there's something in that. And of course, there's the kiss of the beauty of a flower. When we're walking and we see a beautiful flower, I'm going to invite you just for a moment, close your eyes, and to imagine just what comes to mind. What's your favourite flower? What might your favourite flower be in this moment? What comes to mind? Just picture it in your mind's eye. And excuse me, he said, spluttering. Why might that flower be so meaningful and so beauteous to you? Why is that flower beautiful to you? What is it about that flower that's so beautiful? Okay, welcome back. Open your eyes. I invite you to. Yes, what is it about a flower that is so beautiful? Something about the symmetry, something about the colour, something about its formation, and something beyond all that. Every breath is sacred, every breath is pure, every step is sacred, every step is pure. When I see with eyes of love, when I hear with ears of love, when I hold with arms of love. Join in if you care to, if you know it, although I've changed the words slightly. Every breath is sacred, every breath is pure, every step is sacred, every step is pure. When I see with eyes of love, when I hear with ears of love, and I hold with arms of love. Every breath is sacred, every breath is pure. Everything is sacred, everything is pure. So again, there's a wonderful relationship between love and beauty, which I'll explore, if I remember, a little bit later. So some of you will know I've got this, some of these quotes that I've been calling on come out of this book, my Book of Shinings, which for about at least a decade, possibly 12 or 13 years, I've been compiling a list of all my favourite quotes and songs and bits and pieces. It's getting a bit tattered and worn, but it's been all around the world, this, with me. I encourage you to develop your own Book of Shinings. But this from Rumi. Those who don't feel this beauty, this love, pulling them like a river. Those who don't drink dawn like a cup of spring water, or take in supper, or take in sunset like supper. Those who don't want to change, let them sleep. This beauty, this love, is beyond the study of theology, that old trickery and hypocrisy. If you want to improve your mind that way, sleep on. I've given up on my brain. I've torn the cloth to shreds and thrown it away. If you're not completely naked, then wrap your beautiful robe of words around you and sleep. If you're not completely naked, then wrap your beautiful robe of words around you and sleep. Of course, all I'm doing is talking and singing, but there's more than words there. He's calling, I think, to stepping beyond the rational, analytical self and stepping into that beautifully intuited sense of divinity when we drink dawn like a cup of spring water, or take in sunset like supper. Good old Rumi, 700 or 800 years ago, and he nailed it, didn't he? This one, yeah. It's also the case that a beautiful thing is never perfect. There's an Egyptian proverb that says much to that effect. A beautiful thing is never perfect. It's really interesting. I've always felt perfection is in the imperfect. It helps, doesn't it? Because we're all imperfect, and thereby perfect. It's interesting. I recall, this is my recollection, my understanding. Beauty has much to do with symmetry and pattern. So we see 5 petals in a flower, or 4, and there's a beautiful harmony to it. And there's a great beauty in symmetry. So our faces, our heads, half and half. But the interesting thing is, there's been research done, I think, to back this up, that the halves of the face are not the same. They're very similar. This half is not exactly the same as this half. And what makes us beautiful is the difference, that subtle difference between the symmetrical halves evokes beauty. Now that's a paradox and beyond the brain, but apparently, and it's plausible. I invite you to just at least consider the possibility. Perfection in the imperfect. So I'm going to invite us to close our eyes. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment. I know it to be a beautiful moment. That's Thich Nhat Hanh, that one. So just dwelling in the present moment, dwelling in this moment, knowing it to be a beautiful moment. In your mind's eye, I invite you to step into a beautiful woodland setting, and you're walking on a path through the woodland. And it's spring, and there's an abundance of life and flowers, everything blooming into life. And so I'm going to run through some of the beauty that you may find on this path. First of all, you're walking barefoot, and beneath you is the chamomile lawn, soft and fragrant and beautiful, just so soft on the feet, luxurious. It's difficult to imagine anything being more luxurious than the kiss of chamomile on the feet as you're walking. And you feel that deeply, the beauty, felt beauty. And you walk on, and you smell the fragrance of, let's say, honeysuckle, if that works for you. It can be another flower, but fragrance, you smell a remarkable fragrance of flowers around you. Intoxicating, heady, beautiful. And you hear around you birdsong, blackbirds singing, perhaps wrens, robins, whatever. Beautiful song of birds, beauty in the song. And you walk a little further, and you see a wild strawberry plant with a fully ripe wild strawberry, small and perfectly formed in its imperfection. You pick it, it's meant for you. A wild strawberry fully ripe, and you place it on your tongue very gently, and you savour the beauty of that taste, full of sunshine, full of summer. You walk a little further, gently walking on the path through the wood, and you see a flower. It can be the flower you just brought to mind, or it can be another if you prefer. But it is exceptionally beautiful. And you pause to just give gratitude and appreciate its beauty in this moment. So you walk a little further on the path and you come to a clearing. Excuse me. Come to a clearing, and some of you may be familiar with it, but it can be a fresh clearing, but it's a grove. It has a circle of trees and it's a sacred space. And as you emerge from the wood, others emerge in a circle, a wide circle. All of us now here present, from all around the globe, all coming together in this beautiful focal point, sacred space. Just appreciating the beauty of that space, the sunlight, the grass, the trees. And I invite each of us to walk forward and find a spot to lie down in this sacred grove, this global grove, this sacred space. Lying down, just closing your eyes in that beautiful space, and to appreciate and be washed and bathed in beauty. I'm going to allow a few seconds of silence while you allow beauty to wash over you from everything that is around. Now I invite you to just subtly shift that consciousness of beauty to a beauty within, your beauty, our beauty, your specific beauty now emanating from you, pouring out into the world, your beauty blessing the beauty that is around you. Your beauty pouring out into the world. And the two merge, the beauty around and your beauty merge as one. Dwelling in beauty, savouring the beauty of all that is. And I invite you in your mind's eye to now gently get up from the ground and gently open your eyes in that grove. Gently arise. Gently walk to the edge of the circle. Turn and give thanks. Give gratitude in whatever way, perhaps touching the earth in appreciation of the beauty. And turning and walking back along the path you came by, noticing the things you saw and heard and smelt and felt on the way. Just making your way back along the path, through beauty, walking in beauty. Walking your beauty way. You walk to the edge of the wood, and I invite you to come back into this space, wherever this space is for you, here in your room, in your dwelling, with your screen, and with each of us present to each other through this beautiful medium that is available to us. I'm drinking beautiful apple juice from a neighbour. Beautiful. So in that exercise we experience the five senses, and then the sixth sense, that sense beyond the mystical sense, if you like. There's taste, there's touch, there's hearing, there's smell, there's sight, and there's this sixth sense, the mystical beauty around us. How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you that you're anything less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your being is a miracle, and how deeply we're connected through our soul? So the Ovid was a philosopher or a poet. I think he was Greek. Some of you may know better, but he said beauty is a fragile gift. There's this another aspect of beauty that's worth appreciating and noting. Beauty is a fragile gift, so it's not to be taken for granted. So beauty depends upon, if I think of a flower, how easily is a flower, if it's trodden upon, it's pretty well seriously damaged. If the frost comes and nips it, it's also incredibly vulnerable. Beauty is vulnerability, isn't it? The vulnerability of beauty, daring to flower. So it's a vulnerable gift. But it's also true that for that gift to flower, it needs encouragement, sustenance, appreciation, feeding, watering, all these things to nurture and bring beauty into full life. And it's much like us, isn't it? Especially as children. Those are the things we need: encouragement, appreciation, love, feeding, warmth, water, gentle kindness. And yet, how often is that not what our children, or we as children, receive? But that's what beauty, those are the things that engender, encourage and emanate beauty. So that, in a sense of, up to now, I've been looking at the passive side of beauty, the yin of beauty, and now we're going to go into the yang of beauty. So here's something that Dante said. He said, beauty awakens the soul to act. Now we're moving in here. This is really a call to arms. Beauty awakens the soul to act. So there's this vital element of us which requires dwelling in beauty as an inspiration to evoke and emanate that for ourselves, and to make that a reality in the wider sense. There's a wonderful Navajo prayer that's been with me since I was 16. Yes, since I was, possibly earlier, but definitely remember it when I was 16. And I typed it up and had it on my wall in my bedroom. Follow a rainbow trail. Follow a trail of song. And all about you will be beauty. There is a path out of every dark mist over a rainbow trail. And that's helped me through so many periods of life. Follow a rainbow trail, follow a trail of song, and all about you will be beauty. There is a path out of every dark mist over a rainbow trail. Beauty, song, colour, and the rainbow trail. There's something I just wanted to touch on that Thomas Hardy wrote about. The beautiful things of this earth become more beautiful the more they elude pursuit. The beautiful things of this earth become more beautiful the more they elude pursuit. It's an interesting aspect of beauty, and I'm just going to help unpick that one. In part, we know this, because we've lost certain things, certain privileges during this time of lockdown. Some things have become more beautiful to us, the appreciation of them. Beauty has been enhanced in some ways. It's certainly been the most enhanced beauty in terms of a spring that I've ever known. And is that because of lockdown? Maybe in part. Or is it because we had such a wet start to the year? Maybe partly. Whatever. Beauty this year enhanced somehow. Maybe because more time. I call this time, this lockdown time, I call it the time of appreciation. The time of appreciation. Because it's given me time to appreciate all the things that really matter. I'm not disturbed so much by running around on the things that really matter. The beauty of my relationships with my children, my grandchildren, things that I've lost in part, but the beauty of them ever more vibrant. But the other aspect to it, the beautiful things of the earth, of this earth, become more dear the more they elude us. It's like, the best illustration for me of that would be a butterfly. The beauty of it is partly its elusiveness. If I was to capture, trap, and remove the butterfly's freedom by containing it in any way, that would subdue its beauty. Its beauty is in the nature of its elusive and expressive quality. And we're like that too, I think. Too much containment or imprisonment, and our beauty is not able to flower. And beauty can't really be contained. Not true beauty. And it's through beauty that I'm inspired to love. I think this relationship between beauty and love is fascinating. I recently heard a scientist, a clever, beautiful, very knowledgeable man. He said his gateway to love had been through his teacher showing him that beauty was the gateway to love. Beauty as a gateway to love. And I think that's worth holding as well. It's through beauty that I'm inspired to love, and it's through love that I'm inspired to live. Cultivate beauty, and you can't help but cultivate love, I think. Cultivate beauty and we cultivate love. And of course there's the famous, I'm coming towards the end, but this one most of you will know, but it's worth saying, Rumi, let the beauty of what you love be what you do. Again, we've moved from the yin to the yang. Let the beauty of what you love be what you do. And that's why I'm here, because I love sovereign earth, and I love this whole exploration of the qualities that can, in my estimation, help fulfill this return to sacredness of nature. Let the beauty of what you love be what you do. So a final brief song, and then I'll close. Let the heavens be reflected on the earth now. that the earth may turn into heaven. Let the heavens be reflected on the earth now, that the earth may turn into heaven. Let the heavens be reflected on the earth now, that the earth may turn into heaven. Let the heavens be reflected on the earth now, that the earth may turn into heaven. Once more, final time, join me if you can, or I'd love you to join if you could. Let the heavens be reflected on the earth now, that the earth may turn into heaven. Let the heavens be reflected on the earth now, that the earth may turn into heaven. Let the heavens be reflected on the earth now, that the earth may turn into heaven. Let the heavens be reflected on the earth now, that the earth may turn into heaven. That the earth may turn into heaven. That the earth may turn into heaven. And there is, of course, the beauty is reflected in the cosmos, the relationship of the planets to each other, the relationship of the galaxies to each other. From all I have learned and understand and intuit, there is this beautiful symmetry and pattern and beauty emanating through all that is, through eternity. And I'll finish with this one. And this comes from Kafka, the writer. He said, anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty will never grow old. And that's a lovely one to finish the beauty, this exploration of beauty. Thank you for sharing this beauty path with me. It's beautiful what we're sharing. That's how it feels to me. And it's beautiful, each one of you on the path and together in circle. I'll just mention, so there'll be Sovereign Earth service on Friday, chanting, offering songs to the earth, to the beauty of the earth in beauty. So that'll be on Friday. And of course, Sovereign Earth next week. Who knows what that will be about? But I didn't know this time last week that this would be on beauty. I'll just mention, I mentioned it once before, the book of poetry that has just been published literally last week. It's come back from the publishers in Ireland. Magic Imagination. It's mostly poems that I wrote. Well, it's all poems I wrote a quarter of a century ago, but I'd never published. I'm getting a whole lot of newer ones together, but this they still hold good, a lot of them, but some are all sorts in there. Anyway, if you'd like that, it's not on the website yet, but if you care to, you can either PM me on Facebook or just send me your address, and you can pay by PayPal via the Enchanting the Void website. Final page, contacts page, bottom left, donate button. Which reminds me, anyone inclined to donate in true, it's a true Buddhist sense, isn't it? But also Druid, kind of like the bowl of offering at the end. Anybody inclined to make a donation through the donate button on the website is very welcome, and that would be appreciated, but it's not necessary of itself. What's necessary is we walk the beauty way. I'm going to blow this candle out in the spirit of beauty, that we may all dwell in beauty in our hearts and in our world and share it with all around us. Lots of love, lots of blessings. 1, 2, 3. Bye-bye.